This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony, and we're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors. It's time now for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. This MHA Minute is brought to you by Pest Control Services. When you need an exterminator, you want someone reliable and effective. Call Greg Keener at Pest Control Services, 952-894-9748. Pest Control Services is a proud member of Angie's List and a member of the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. That's Pest Control Services, 952-894-9748, 952-894-9748. Tell Greg that Gene and Tony sent you.
When you rent out your home, you automatically become a small business owner and are subject to all kinds of rules and regulations. Fair housing laws, rental licensing, CRPs, lead paint, radon, carbon dioxide, just to name a few. As someone who provides rental housing, you'll have to learn more about your community, your city council, and your law enforcement agencies than you ever imagined. But if you properly manage your business, you'll also become an important and positive partner in the community. The Minnesota Multi-Housing Association is the most comprehensive resource you'll find for everything you need to help you successfully manage your rental business. Visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. Look around the website, download the free guide to successful property management, download the free brochure about the eviction process, and learn about the many ways you can turn your small business into a good business.
We're speaking to Phaedra Howard about a Minnesota Court of Appeals decision where a homeowner was upset with his association about maintenance items. The association, with the assistance of counsel, determined that the maintenance items were not the association's responsibility, and they billed this homeowner $2,400 for legal fees associated with the review. Phaedra, you represented the association in this matter. What happened next?
After the association told the homeowner they were going to be charged for the legal fees, the homeowners got an attorney, and he and I engaged in some discussions about whether or not those fees were assessable. As we always advise our association clients, it's incurred if you're under Minnesota Common Interest Ownership Act, which this association is, and also has almost identical language in their declaration that allows them to assess back to the unit and its owner the attorney's fees incurred in connection with the enforcement of the governing documents, which is what we asserted here. And they argued with me that it was not enforcement, and so they didn't pay them, and they got delinquent, and then we sent a demand letter telling them they needed to pay, and they started a lawsuit, asked the court to determine that they do not have to pay them.
You know, I think it's important to bring up here, everybody usually thinks that things always escalate to court, but here is an example, I think a great example, too. You really try to reach out at first, just try to talk and communicate to see if you can come to a meeting of the minds at first. You don't just go and immediately into lawsuit mode, correct?
No, and in fact, the association wasn't the one that started the lawsuit. The homeowner was.
Right.
So in this particular case, this is a case of someone who just didn't understand, and I'm talking about the attorney now, didn't understand, I guess, HOA law, did he?
Well, apparently not.
Well, he was defending his client, so what he understood was what the client wanted, probably.
Well, there's a number of factors, but clearly he had a different opinion of the statute. But I think the language is pretty clear, and obviously the district court and the Court of Appeals agreed with us.
Yeah.
Okay, and so after all of this, the end result, Phaedra, was what did this cost the association to defend?
Well, the association incurred somewhere in the neighborhood of about $18,000 up through the district court ruling. We did bring a counterclaim against the homeowners for foreclosure of the lien against the property.
To collect your money, to collect the association's money.
Right. And so the district court awarded judgment in favor of the association in addition to attorney's fees and costs that were not challenged at the district court level. And then the homeowners appealed, obviously, and the Court of Appeals upheld that. We're in the process of putting together our request for attorney's fees on appeal, so I don't have a final number for you. But clearly, the homeowners had to pay their own their own attorney, as well as being ordered to pay the association's attorney's fees.
This is really
It sounds like
unfortunate.
it's in excess, though, of about $15,000 or $18,000, right?
Well, in excess, yes.
Yeah. And
This is really unfortunate that it has to go this way. For our listeners, if you are in a disagreement with your homeowner association, I think there's a much better way to approach it, and I think there are other things that are probably an avenue that an individual homeowner can pursue.
like what, Gene?
Well, for example, I think sitting down talking with the board first of all to see if you can have a meeting of the minds. Number two, if someone doesn't like something that is written or covered with their governing documents, I think they can take a look at possibly seeking to change that if they think that that certain additional items need to be included. But to go necessarily to a lawsuit just really wastes a lot of people's time and money.
And, changing your governing documents is a long process as well. But how about some mediation in there? They could have also... go ahead, Peter.
We did participate in court-ordered mediation, but
okay.
that was unsuccessful.
That failed. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Does
so
mediation
they took that step.
Does mediation work? What percent of the time would you say?
It's hard to say, but
This is just a guess.
Most cases settle before getting to a judgment in court.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the percentages are, but most of my cases, and I don't do tons of litigation, but most of my cases that have gone into a court situation, if we get involved in mediation, even I've had some where we think there is no way this other party is going to settle with us for anything that we're going to be able to agree to. Okay. And at the end of the day, everybody realizes what it's going to cost them not to settle. So more often than not, cases do settle in mediation. But this was one of them that there was early on. It was clear that there was an impasse, and the parties were not going to reach an agreement.
Well, thank you, Phaedra. We are running out of time. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day here to share with us about this court case. Folks,
absolutely.
Folks, don't go away. We've got a whole nother hour of Where You Live with Gene and Tony, but we've got to go to these messages, so don't go away. We'll be back after this.